United States warns BP about leak near oil well and major oil spill in China. The federal government Monday allowed BP to keep the cap shut tight on its busted Gulf of Mexico oil well for another day after the company promised to watch closely for any signs of new leaks breaking through the seafloor, settling for the moment a rift between BP and the government. BP's promises are like the fox guarding the henhouse. BP is not to be trusted because they are doing things for money. The federal point man for the spill, retired Coast Guard Admiral Thad Allen, said early Monday that government scientists had gotten the answers they wanted about how BP is monitoring the seabed around the mile-deep well site, which has stopped gushing oil, at least for the moment, into the water since the experimental cap was closed. Late Sunday, Allen said a seep, or a leak, had been detected a distance from the busted oil well, and demanded in a sharply worded letter that BP step up monitoring of the ocean floor. The concern all along, since pressure readings on the cap weren't as high as expected, was a leak elsewhere in the wellbore, meaning the cap may have to be reopened to prevent the environmental disaster from becoming even worse. Yes, even worse, and even harder to fix. An underground leak could let oil and gas escape uncontrolled through bedrock and mud, and that too is a real possibility. But Allen warned the firm Monday the test will only continue if they, BP, continue to meet their obligations to rigorously monitor for any signs, but this test could worsen the overall situation. Allen said there had been an overnight conference call between the federal science team and BP. BP engineers were the source of information behind Allen's comments that a leak or a seep was detected a distance from the well. When seeps are detected, you are directed to marshal resources, quickly investigate, and report findings to the government in no more than 4 hours. I direct you to provide me a written procedure for opening the choke valve as quickly as possible without damaging the well should hydrocarbon seepage near the wellhead be confirmed, Allen added in a letter to BP Managing Director Bob Dudley. The government and BP has spent the past 2 days disagreeing over what to do next with the undersea machinery holding back the gusher. Of course, BP very much wants to avoid continuing the live underwater video that showed millions and millions of gallons of oil spewing from the blown well for many weeks. Approximately 184 million gallons to perhaps more than 200 million gallons have spilled into the Gulf of Mexico. The government's plan, however, is to eventually pipe oil to the surface, which would ease pressure on the fragile well, but require up to 3 more days of oil spilling into the Gulf. And BP doesn't want to do that because it's about how much money they will have to pay. Yes, a lot of money. Harsh criticism. Allen said the cap bottling up the oil would eventually be hooked up to a mile-long pipe to pump the crude to ships on the surface. But BP Chief Operating Officer Doug Suttles said the cap should shut the oil in until relief wells are finished, because, once again, it's about how much money BP would have to pay to the federal government. After nearly 3 months of harsh criticism as it tried repeatedly to stop the leak, BP capped the nearly mile-deep well and wants to keep it that way. Allen said testing on the cap would continue. Engineers are looking to determine whether low pressure readings mean that more oil than expected poured into the Gulf of Mexico since the BP-leased Deepwater Horizon rig exploded April 20th, killing 11 people and touching off America's worst environmental crisis. While we are pleased that no oil is currently being released in the Gulf of Mexico and want to take all appropriate action to keep it that way, it is important that all decisions are driven by the science, or based on science, Allen said. Both Allen and BP have said they don't know how long the trial run will continue. It was set to end Sunday afternoon, but the deadline came and went with no word on what's next. It will take years for the Gulf of Mexico to recover, perhaps decades. Though cleanup efforts continued, and some improvements in the water could be seen in the days since the oil stopped flowing. But it could be flowing again. In other words, it's not over yet. There's more to come. And in a related development, China seals key port after major oil spill. One of China's biggest ports shut Monday after a pipeline explosion triggered a major offshore oil spill. The aftermath of the weekend fire could add to pressure for stricter environmental standards in China, already reeling from a toxic copper mine leak in the south of the country. The fire began on Friday while a crude oil tanker was being offloaded in Dalian. Nobody was hurt, but hundreds of firefighters battled flames for more than 15 hours, and state media said at least 1,650 tons of oil had spilled into the sea. Crude oil was seen over an area covering 71 square miles, with 19 of those described as severe. Yes, another oil spill in the world. And, again, there's something much bigger going on here. Everything is connected, and everything is numbered. Yes, it's time. Ezekiel chapter 13, verse 19. And will ye pollute me among my people for handfuls of barley, for pieces of bread or money, to slay the souls that should not die, and to save the souls alive that should not live, by your lying to my people that hear your lies. 20. Wherefore, thus saith the Lord God Almighty, Behold, I am against your pillows, wherewith you there hunt the souls to make them fly. And I will tear them from your arms, and will let the souls go, even the souls that you hunt to make them fly. 21. Your kerchiefs also will I tear, and deliver my people out of your hand, and they shall be no more in your hand to be hunted, and ye shall know that I am the Lord. 22. Because of lies ye have made the heart of the righteous sad, whom I have not made sad, and strengthened the hands of the wicked. But he should not return from his wicked way by promising him life. 23. Therefore ye shall see no more vanity, nor divine divinations, for I will deliver my people out of your hand, and ye shall know that I am the Lord. And, yes, these are the end times, transition days. There is a great transition going on all around the world. In other words, everything that must change quickly or rapidly, and for the better. And all these are more signs.